I wish you all a warm good morning to everyone present here. Today we are going on with the continuation of our webinar series, Heart, Talk and Walk. So I welcome all of you to a second day where we are dealing with the topic human trafficking and interventions. Before we get to start, I would like to remind you all a few things. Always make sure that your microphones are muted and to use it whenever it becomes necessary to utilize the opportunities you guys have provided during the Q&A session effectively and to be active throughout the session. So it's finally the time for us to begin. Heart with the heart. Heart fetch breath. Talk the truth no matter how hard it is. And my dear friends, walk your talk without a block throughout your life. A warm welcome to the distinguished guests, teachers, and my dear colleagues. I'm extremely happy to have you all here. So, once again, welcome all of you. Prayers are always our invocation towards the Supreme Authority for His guidance. So, let's begin our session with seeking His blessings. I would like to welcome Ms. Abli and Ms. Deviga to pray on behalf of us all.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
Lead me from untruth to the truth. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace.
Thank you guys so much. We feel blessed indeed. Now, I would like to welcome the coordinator of the program, Dr. Sister Usha Anthony, to deliver the welcome speech.
Good morning, everybody. Let me see whether Mrs. Sulina. So, respected Sister Princey, the resource person of the day, and my dear students from third BCom, second BCom, and the first DC students. The UN Secretary, Antonio Guterres, he spoke about the human trafficking as the worst form of injustice done on earth. And Oscar Wilde says that a cynic is a man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. We know to price everything, but we don't value nothing, even the human beings. The value of human beings are just ignored. And February 2nd, the church celebrates an International Prayer Day for the people who are being trafficked. Next slide, please. And those students who studied in our institution, St. Joseph's Institution, must have come to know about Saint Bakita, who are being personally trafficked from Africa to Italy. And she was made saint recently. And she is the patron. And to her that we pray for the people who are trafficked from different parts of the world for trade's sake. So that picture I wanted to show, that picture is missing actually. Let her take that one. So it is an international concern, not only the concern of India, but it is an international concern. The statistics will be presented by Sister Princey, the resource person. This is the icon given, an economy without human trafficking. Now human beings, the weaker sections of the society, that is women and children, and voiceless boys and adults are being trafficked for the sake of money alone. So we are envisioning, the world is envisioning an economy without human trafficking. When we say an economy without human trafficking, what is the benefit that the economy has with these weaker sections of the society? $150 billion are the annual profit of human trafficking. So why we not do this business? Then 21,800 are the annual profit per sexual exploited victim. Again, $34,800 are the annual profit per victim of trafficking in advanced countries. And 50% of the exploited workers still carry on as a bonded laborers. And $2 lakh is the economic return for an organ transplant in Western Europe against a payment of $10,000 to the donor, so-called donor, the poor people. So many purposes have been included for this human trafficking. And the recent report, UN report says, next slide please. The next slide shows that what is the purpose for which this human trafficking is being done. It is the heinous crime on earth. 72% of the detected victims are women and girls. And the percentage of the victims have more than doubled from 2004 to 2016. The recent one, the last year's report will be given by Sister Princey. According to UN Office and Drugs Crime, that is the agency that gives the report of trafficking, they said the trafficking is done for sexual exploitation, forced labor, and also for many other abuse. So this is the background in which that we have thought of creating awareness about human trafficking among the students and my students. So let me come on to my responsibility. So first of all, I welcome the resource person of the day, Sister Princey Maria Das, to handle the session on behalf of the college, Department of Commerce, and each and every students in this virtual platform. I welcome you, sister. And I welcome all my students who are present in this platform, eagerly waiting to listen to Sister Princey's talk. So, hearty welcome to one and all. Thank you. Sister Princey, congratulations. Hearty welcome to Sister Princey.
Thank you, Sister Usha, for your honest words.
Okay, Sister Princey, she did her MSW from St. Aloysius College, Mangalore, and currently doing law, and also she has a linkage with the Don Bosco Fathers. In their foundation, she is networking. So once again, invite you to handle the session.
So now it's our time, or the time has come for us to start the session. Human trafficking is a matter to be taken care of immediately, as the traffickers, are climbing their steps upward, as it offers them roughly a profit of $150 billion per annum. What brings it to the urge of concern is that 72% of the enslaved people are women and girls. We must be aware of what is happening around us. The second year LLB student of All Saints Law College, Andhra Pradesh, and she had also grabbed her MSW from St. Aloysius College, Mangalore. So, with great pleasure, I invite you, ma'am, to a lecture, and I humbly request you to start our session.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for the welcome that you have given to me. And first and foremost, I take this opportunity to thank Sister Usha for trying to explore the knowledge that I have to share with the students who are willingly and eagerly waiting to hear about the topic of human trafficking. So before I begin the session, I would just like to say a thought. The thought goes like this. Life is beautiful when persons are being loved and things are being used. Here you see the fact of human trafficking. More than I speak, you can understand what is the fact of human trafficking from this page. What is human trafficking? It's a modern day slave trade, solicitation, transportation, exploitation, and violence. So all these things are bringing together to make us to understand the nutshell of what is human trafficking. So we will be wondering who can be trafficked? Who will be the victims of trafficking? Yes, none other than all the human beings from different categories, that are men, women, children. There is no separation among the human beings where this person cannot be trafficked or that person cannot be trafficked. But all the human beings are becoming the victims of human trafficking. Human trafficking is the victims are being treated as the properties, slaves, and stripped of their rights. You may ask a question: who will be trafficking this? And the victims, how they become the properties or slaves? Yes, in the human trafficking is a big net, and it is a big mass mafia where one person cannot work. There is a lot of link in between the process of human trafficking. Not only one or two persons are involved, but hundreds of people are being involved in the process of trafficking the victims. And once the victims are being trafficked, they keep these victims as their properties, and they will not let go of these victims out of their, their surroundings. And they make these victims as their slaves. The slaves can be the bonded laborers and the sex workers, the rape cases. So like that it goes on. And they are stripped of their rights. And I think that Sister Sharon, for the last section, she had broadly explained about the rights of the human beings and the fundamental rights. And here the human beings are being stripped of their human rights to have a dignified life in the society. So trafficking in persons, as I said before, it is a process. So here comes the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, force, abduction, and deception. Recruitment, you may ask, only in the companies or when you go for other interviews, there will be a recruitment. Whereas here also we see in the process of trafficking, there is a recruitment. The brothel owner.
Sister, excuse me, Sister Princey. That
Yes,
mic
sister?
is my mic is
Okay.
creating some disturbance. So can you leave it? Let us try whether you can without that. You just speak one or two sentences. Just explain, then we can know whether without holding it whether you are clear or not. It's okay. You
Okay,
please speak. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Please proceed.
So, yeah.
We can hear.
This-
We can hear. No need to hold it. Okay.
Okay, sister. Thank you. So the recruitment here also takes place between the brothel owner, pimp, and the village leaders. So the village leader goes to the villages, find out the poorest communities where the people are vulnerable, who can be exploited very easily, and promising them, telling that we will be giving you job. You are wandering about here without any job. We will keep you as a receptionist. So we will provide you some other good jobs in the big cities like Chennai, Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad. All the metropolitan cities we will see. So the village leader will be paid some money by the pimp. The pimp is the mediator between the brothel owner and the village people. And the pimp will be paying some amount of money to the village leader and taking the victims from there and bringing to the brothel houses, handing them over to the brothel owner, and per person they may get 2 or 3 lakhs. And this brothel owner will be gaining how many lakhs we do not know in India from a person. So there takes place the recruitment and the transportation. So the victims are being transported, they give some drugs in order not to know which are the ways they have crossed. From their village or from their locality, how they have reached to this metropolitan cities. So in such a way, they will be arranging the transportation for these people from there to here. And not only in India itself, but one more thing I would like to tell you, specify that India is the source and the destination for human trafficking. We recruit and we transport the victims from our country to other countries too. Okay. Then harboring. Harboring means there are people, as I mentioned before, the poor communities, the vulnerable people, the downtrodden people. When anybody come to our rescue, feel that they are good people. In order to take refuge, in order to have a good, better life, we go to them. And we are put in trouble. Force. Sometimes by force they take us. And some of our relatives will be involved in that. Telling and convincing our parents and our own siblings, telling that your daughter will get a good job. Why are you keeping her inside your house? Why can't you send her for the better job in the bigger cities? And you will get a good income in your family and you can come up. So forcefully, the children are being taken away from their families. And sometimes they are, the abduction is being done. That is in Malayalam we say tattikkondu poga. The children are being taken away without their knowledge, without the knowledge of the parents. And comes the deception. Already I have mentioned the cheating cases, promising that they will be giving this job, that job, or they will take them here and there, and they don't do what they have promised. So the process of trafficking, these things are being taking place. Next slide. It can be the trafficking in persons mean it can be the abuse of power, position of vulnerability, giving or receiving of payment or benefits to achieve a person for the purpose of exploitation. So few things I have already mentioned to you. This weakness of the people are the strength for the thing and the people, those who are involved in the sex exploitation. And they benefit out of these poor victims. And the victims, they don't know what they are going to face it in their life. Once they are caught up in the brothel homes, they will realize it. And even if they try to come out of that, they are not. So this is a situation in our country as well as outside our country is taking place. Next slide. Do you know that human trafficking is the world's third largest money-making business? I suppose you all heard what Sister Usha was telling in the beginning. It is one of the largest money-making industry in the world as well as in our country. So because of that, this case is being increasing day by day, second by second. No need to think of day by day, but per second, how many of the victims are being exploited for this purpose and gaining money. Next slide. So here you see the status of human trafficking. Now I don't have much time to explain to you in detail. The slide is with Sister Usha. Later you can look into and you can reflect on and you can realize it. What is the situation in the society? The process of human trafficking and the life of victims. Okay, current situation of human trafficking worldwide and in India. How many countries we have in the world? 161 countries, that's what I know, maybe more than that. But according to my knowledge, I came to know that 161 countries. Out of that, 11 countries are with the highest rate of human trafficking in the world. You see, 11 countries. And out of these 11 countries, so which are the 11 countries we will see first? Thailand, China, Ghana, Uganda, Nepal, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Haiti, Brazil. And we can see out of these 11 countries, Bangladesh stands first. Bangladesh is not far away from our country. Our neighboring country is Bangladesh. Even for our country, we get victims from Bangladesh and Nepal. I had an interaction with the human trafficking victims in Bombay because I worked there for almost 2 months in the red light area, in Kamatipura area. You might have heard of this. And I was with them. I interacted with them because I have done my research on this paper. And most of the victims whom I interacted with have come from or exported or transported from Bangladesh and Nepal, promising that they will be given better job. They think that India is one of the foreign countries. And with that hope they come in. And they are ended up in Bombay. Okay. Out of these 11 countries, Ghana, Uganda, Sri Lanka, India and Haiti have an extremely high rate of women and children forced into prostitution, free labor and begging. So out of these 11 countries, they have taken, according to the data of every year, 5 countries they have selected. And India is one among that. And we can imagine where our country stands. Even I too was surprised in the beginning before I came to know about this. I thought maybe some other foreign countries will be standing first. But no, India also is there, one among the 5 countries. And out of, okay, a total of 6,616 human trafficking cases were registered in the country, which is far higher than the 5,788 cases registered in 2018 and 5,900 cases in 2017. So you just see the rate is going higher. And for your surprise, I tell you, when the corona started, that means last March, 2020 March, till now it is going on. So during this time, this human trafficking victims are being on increase. We thought that maybe with this corona, there won't be any trafficking cases will be there. But increase, just to see the number, 6,616 cases. This is the last October we got the data. So friends, human trafficking is not a simple matter. And in India, Maharashtra stands first, where the Bombay, Pune, all these districts will be there. And the AP stands second, where I am working on. Even I have seen with my own eyes, the girls are being trafficked. They are being taken away. And at that time, I did not have the active voice to tell. And it is not that easy for us to enter into this work. And we should have a linkage of many other organizations who are like-minded, who have the passion to work for these victims. And for example, shall I share with you one incident where the victims have come to me? That is 2019. The girls from Orissa, 25 girls were taken by the pimp. And in a Konark train, they were traveling from Bhubaneswar to Bombay. And somebody noticed this because among them there was a talk of which is not necessary, which is not valuable talk, concerned about this. So the person was doubting something and rang up to 1098 childline number. And we received a call. At that time I had linkage with the childline. We received a call in the night around 11 o'clock. And we have sent our staff to a particular railway station. And one of the staff succeeded to get into the train along with these children. And they rang up to us telling that, be ready in Rajahmundry railway station. I am coming there. She did not tell us that she is accompanying these girls. I am coming there, you be ready with the railway police. So night around 2 o'clock we were there in Rajahmundry railway station to receive these victims. And they were brought to our home. And one day they were with us. And we contacted the police, other police officials and the government officials and contacted with the Orissa commissioner, and we have to take them back to their home. So it was not that easy for us. But we tried our level best to serve the life of the people. This is only one example that I have shared with you. Okay, next slide. As I have told you, per second persons are being trafficked. One person is trafficked every 30 seconds. Can you imagine how many seconds are there in an hour? How many seconds are there for 24 hours? You just calculate and see how many of our brethren being trafficked. Then 7 million victims worldwide. From where we get it? In our restaurants, hotels, and in the backyards. Victims are exploited through forced labor, domestic servitude, or the sex trade. A global problem with 161 countries affected by trafficking worldwide. At $32 billion a year, it is the second most profitable crime in the US. 90% of forced labor victims are exploited in the private economy. 1 lakh children in the sex trade every year in domestically. And other thing what I will tell you, as I have said before, I explained to you that recruitment and exporting. The good looking girls are, that also I have seen with my own eyes in Bombay when I was working. The good looking girls are being taken to the restaurant. And they have to dance and entertain the customers, those who are coming to the hotels. If the girls are not ready, they are being tortured. And 2014, when I was in Bombay, in Mahim, in one of our convents, I was staying and going to this area. In Bandra, which is close to Mahim. And there, because so many brothel homes we see there. And one girl who is below the age of 18 years, she was taken to the brothel home. And in her room, one customer was sent. And the girl was not willing to entertain him. And he rang up to the brothel owner telling that the victim, the girl is not allowing me to touch her. And she's not willing to entertain me. The money that I have paid, you have to give me back. And the brothel owner reached the room and forced her to do it, but even the girl was not willing. So the brothel owner and the customer chopped the breast of the girl. And it came in the newspaper. That's what came to me. I was there in Bombay at that. So, my dear friends, you may be seeing that I am speaking so emotionally. Yes, when I speak about human trafficking, my blood is boiling like egg because I have the passion to work for this. I wanted to save the victims from this society. So that so many incidents are being taken place. Our Kerala is not behind. And I have a documentary from Alleppey, girls are being trafficked, promising the poor parents, telling that we are taking her to Chennai and we are going to give her a good job. In advance, we are giving you some money as advanced salary and giving them 5 to 10,000 to the parents and taking the girls from them. Now, I don't have the time to show you the documentary, and I will be handing over to Sister Usha. You can get it from her and view it when you get time. Then you will realize what I am telling. So, next slide. We are one among you. Can you extend your hands? Dear friends, those who are listening to me, can you extend your hands? They are asking us. The victims are asking us. We are safe in our house within the four walls. They are telling us that they are one among us. So the question they asked me, can you extend your hands? And we have ventured into this mission for this work. Not only me, there are so many other organizations come forward to serve the victims of the human trafficking. So just to go through this picture and the faces of the victims who are in the boat. Are you all seeing this picture? Hope. Next slide. So this question made all of us to think, though it is not that easy to venture into this work, but we have to challenge ourselves. We have to take risk. At any moment we can lose our life, but there are courageous people who are ready to sacrifice for this purpose. Have come forward, and we have the big networking for this, and we have ventured into this work in order to serve the people. So sister was telling about our mother Bakita. She is the patron saint of human trafficking, and she also is the victim of human trafficking. Next slide. So, and we are running a home for these victims. So the victims who are brought to our home are victims of violence, victims of trafficking, children affected by sexual abuse, victims of child marriage, then destitute children and women, women and children with HIV/AIDS. The sister has mentioned you that I am working with the Salesians, and we have a home for the victims where we provide the temporary shelter or long-time shelter. Next slide. The services that we render to these victims, vocational training we give them as long as they are with us, tailoring, maggam, embroidery, and counseling. That is the most important thing. The children lost their life, the women, they lost their life. They say that they don't have hope in the future. They don't have anyone to listen to them. Can you give me 5 minutes of yours to listen to me? They beg. Even sometimes I'll be busy going about it. They ask, sister, can you give me a little time to spend with you? And I make myself available to them. And in all our homes, in all over India, we see there are so many homes to give them shelter. Everywhere there are councils. Everywhere there are social workers to give them refuge. When we listen to their stories, we are nothing before them. We feel it that we are stripped of everything and we are nothing before them. We are not able to stand before them. In such a pitiful condition, our brethren are going through in our society. It's like, and recreational activities too we give. And the repatriation is being done. There the repatriation is done. Once the victims are coming to our home, we counsel them, maybe first or second sitting they will not reveal to us. Maybe after 1 month, maybe after 2-3 weeks, continuous counseling, they will reveal to us their address and their family backgrounds. And we consult with them whether they are willing to go back to their parents. If the victim agrees to that, we get their address and go in search of the family. And we speak to the family. If the family agrees only, we will be handing over the victims to them. Even if the child is willing and the parents or family members are not willing, we will not give them. Or if the family members are willing and the child is not willing, we will not hand over to them. We keep them with us till 18 years. And we give them occasional training and place them for the job. So these are the pictures that you see here, where we are doing the repatriation. Next slide. And we conduct campaigns on human trafficking. So as I said, we network with so many organizations. In this picture you see Prajwala is one of the outstanding organizations in Hyderabad working for these victims. And they directly get into raid with the police officials and get the victims from the hotels, from the bars, and from the brothel homes. So we are networking with them. With their staff, we are organizing campaigns to different villages. And we gather the people in the night. Only night they are available in the villages. Next slide. So we are giving training to the on anti-human trafficking for Anganwadi staff, ASHA workers, health workers, because they are the people who are accessible to the victims in the villages. We have office, we have organization, we will be little far away from them. But these people are the accessible people for these victims to approach. And we go to the villages, we conduct awareness campaigns, and we make the people to take oath if they are willing, not possible. If they are willing, we ask them to take the oath that they may work for anti-human trafficking in their locality, in their families and their society. Next slide. And we give mobilization and awareness programs on human rights to children. Sometimes the bigger people, they may not take into consideration of what we are saying, but we can mold the children. We can make them aware of what is happening in the society. So we go to schools and we have children's clubs we form. Parliament. And live a dignified life. And through this children's parliament, we have gained a lot. One more example I will tell you. I don't know whether okay, have time. By forming this children's parliament in the villages as well as in the government schools. And one girl who is only 14 years old girl was left alone in the house, in the slum, in Rajahmundry slum. And the parents had gone for the work. And one boy continuously came to this house and trying to rape this girl. And the small children who were playing around this heard the cry of this girl. And at once they rushed to the close by families and told that this Akka is crying here. Please come and save her. We don't know what is happening inside. And when the adults entered into that house, they saw that this boy was attacking her. At once, they have informed us, and I have sent one of our staff in that place and contacted the police, and the accuser was jailed. And the compensations were given to that girl. The children are very stood up, we all know. We can mold them very well. So we have formed so many, almost 500 children's parliament in Rajahmundry area, in the schools and in the slums. And we have interaction with the police. The children are frightened to approach the police. But we brought into a conclusion that the children first let them have the good relationship with the police, so that any atrocities take place, they can inform the police immediately. So now we have built up a very good relationship between the children and the police officials. So every now and then we used to visit the police, and the children are building up, and we are trying to have a cell, children's cell in the police stations. Okay, next slide. So the mobilization and awareness programs for the parents too. Because the parents don't know, most of the people are ignorant, they are illiterate. So they look for the money. They think that if somebody comes and offers a job for their children or for the young ladies, they go easily. But they don't know what is going to happen after that. So we create awareness to them. Not only 1 or 2 days, but continuous awareness classes based on different topics concerned about it. And these people are the strength for us. So safety net groups we have. So these are the leaders. You see in a group there can be 11 members in each area. And these women, they were alert. So the next event out there, we see ladies and other ladies. And when the team enter into the village and meet one of the people, one of the persons in the village, and contact and speak to them, and they will tell that in my brother's house there is a daughter, in my cousin's house there is a small boy whom you can take and educate him. Like that. But these ladies, since we have given the training, what they will be doing, they will be alert to the stranger one who is entering into the village. As soon as anybody comes and if they feel doubt on that person, they will be informing the Anganwadi teachers. And the Anganwadi teachers will be going to that spot. And they will be informing the police, or they will be informing us. And we will be going to that place to serve the children. Next. Then awareness campaigns on trafficking, government hostels. Here we have many hostels. The children are easily getting into in the trafficking stage. The children, they wait for, because they don't know anything. Suppose somebody gives 10 rupees to buy something, come, I will buy and give you sweet. Easily they will be getting into. Because they don't know the value of that. What is going to happen to them? One chocolate is enough, or one time of food is enough for the children to fill their stomach. So that is what happens in the vulnerable villages. And we have gone day and night to the government hostels and the government schools to create awareness to the children, so that the children will be saved. They save themselves and they may save others. So these children also are the strength for us when any child marriage takes place in their villages or any domestic violence takes place for the children. At once they ring up to the police station or they ring up to 1098 number, childline number. And our staff reaches there and saves the children. How many child marriage cases we have? How many children are being saved from that? So I also ask you, suppose you think is like just to 109 and those staff really donate. Only you have to tell that maybe Alapi or Chenaveli, for example, the place I know. Chenaveli, there is a child marriage case. So you just bring up to 1098 that in Alapi district, in Chenaveli village, there is a child marriage is taking place. So you please come. Only this have to and then ask your address. That's all. But they will not resist. And we can say that and we come. So dear friends, you and me have the right to serve the life of our brothers and sisters. Don't lose the chance when it comes to our way. Next slide. You may be thinking, who are these people? And we have close contact with the collector. And we asked the collector to gather all the essence of the school in order to have the children's parliament and in order to give them awareness on human trafficking. So the good heart of the collector, he gathered all the essence of that East Godavari district. He collected everybody and the health workers and we have given the sessions on them in order to strengthen this work and reduce the human trafficking in society. And we do the raid every now and then in order to take away the children who are involved in child labor. Next slide. So we have meetings in different levels, in national level, state level, district level we will be having. So we have a study and there and marks also have. This study is paid by and we have placed it and I have a presentation on that and I have done it. Next slide. Networking. As I have told a number of times, networking. Yes, that is very, very important. With me alone or with you alone, we cannot do this work. We need a group of strong, like-minded people in order to reduce the human trafficking. I don't say that we have to eradicate, but eradication is not that easy. At least if we reduce this crime, that will be much better. As I have mentioned it before, the crime is increasing, not reducing. So like-minded organizations has to come together, plan out and venture into these situations. Why I am able to venture into this situation? Because we have the strong wall with us. So many organizations. So you can see World Vision, Seventh Organization, Magic Bus Organization, BASE, Bhumika, which work for the children and women, Childline, Lions Club, Rotary Club, then media. Then Chamber of Commerce, societies, lawyers, doctors, others, and the unions. So these are the organizations we work with. Next. The networking in GOs, government organizations, Sub-Collector, Home Minister, CWC is a Child Welfare Committee, and DCPO is District Child Protection Office, then Educational Department, Health Department, JP, Juvenile Justice Board, Police Department, Railway Police Force. Next. Next slide, please. Human trafficking is an umbrella term used to describe all forms of modern day slavery. Bonded labor, forced child labor, labor trafficking, involuntary servitude, involuntary domestic servitude, child sex tourism, children for commercial sex, child soldier, sex trafficking. And the people, those who are being trafficked among that, 95% of trafficked persons in India are forced into prostitution. In that, not only women and the men and the girls, but men means even the small children are being used for the sex exploitation. Children are used in the bonded labor. So, dear friends, we don't have security. We don't have security in our country, in our residence. At any time we can get in. And one more thing I would like to tell you that now the media is vast. We have the curiosity and we would like to spend a lot of time because lot of GB is free, unlimited GB is there or 1.5 GB is there per day, so we can use it. Out of curiosity, we will be getting in the chatting and we do not know that we will be put in chat. We do not know that we are digging a well in the Poland, pit in the Poland. Everything is available for us, but it is up to us to make use of opportunities in the good manner. During this Corona time, how many of the children became victims only because of the media? Getting in the chat, and they are being trapped. They lost their life. Even well-educated doctors are being trapped. Well-educated persons are being trapped. Human trafficking is not a problem. Even the well-educated persons are being victims. As I said, one person was IT, one who engaged engineer, and another person was in a nurse. Can you imagine? Anybody can get in. Anybody can be trapped into the situation. So be careful. Life is yours. Take care of. And take care of the life of others. Next slide. Tell your friends, family, and community leaders about human trafficking and its impacts. Ask them to join you in taking action to prevent it. Next one. Okay, next one. Thank you so much, dear teachers, friends, and especially to Sister Usha for giving me this opportunity. Now it's time for you to ask questions if there is any.
Thank you so much, Sister Princy, for conveying your ideas and experiences. And I feel that all of us who are here have felt what you have felt as well when you are talking about human trafficking. So I thank you very much for your valuable time. And my dear friends, now it's time for you guys to clarify your doubts and queries with Sister. So please feel free to open up. You can either switch on your audios or put it in the chat box.
Yes.
Ma'am, I think we
Yeah.
have a question in the chat box, ma'am. Can I read it?
Okay. Can you just tell? Yeah, tell me now.
Does the physical violence have to be involved in human trafficking cases? That's the question, ma'am.
Sure. That's what I said. Domestic violence it comes there. The physical violence. The children, those who are engaged in the child labor, they shows the physical violence. And I have given an example where the girl's breast was being chopped. That's another way of physical violence. And one more thing I would like to tell you, The girls, those who are being trapped and brought to the brothels, they don't have the rest. All 24 hours they have to entertain the customers. And they are not paid. The earning 1,000 rupees a day. And in a month they are given by their
Sister Princess, some disturbance in
so
the
that
voice.
also
Voice frequency is varying. Sister Princess, audio is not clear.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Did me?
Okay. Now I think I can hear.
Any other question?
Another question is there in the chat box. What are the root causes of trafficking?
So some
That
disturbance is there.
okay.
Not clear.
One question is there in the chat box.
Sister, chat box I'm not getting. Just can you read out the questions if there is any
What are the
possibility?
root causes of? I think you all already mentioned. What are the root causes of trafficking? That they have asked
Yes.
another question.
Okay, the root causes mainly are they concentrate on the vulnerable people, especially the poverty. The poverty is one of the root cause and the desire of living a city life. So the vulnerable group is influenced by the PIM or the other people, those who are coming in contact with, when they hear this promise and the good salary that they will be getting it, and the people, those who are living in the poverty, so they will be easily getting into that. The poverty is the main cause for this. And the attraction towards the worldly values.
So, is there any question for any of you guys rest?
Hello, sister, may I ask something?
Feedback.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
ask
yeah.
for feedback.
Yes, sir.
Sister, I have a question. Do
Yeah.
victims of human trafficking self-identify them as a victim of crime and ask for help immediately? Is there any cases or escapes like that that you are known,
Yes.
sister?
Yes, I will tell you now. One girl, the false name I will tell you, real name we cannot reveal. Her name is Sunita. She was tracked to how the victim, she was from a village in Andhra itself, and she was studying in 9th standard. One boy, she's a Muslim religion, and sorry for mentioning the religion. Okay. So this girl was going along with the friends to the school every day, but one boy was observing her, and she's very beautiful girl. And this boy was going behind her, and she was not more minding this boy. And he started to speak with this girl, telling that I love her so much, I would like to get her, I would like to marry her, but you speak first the friend. So the friend is forcing to love him. And okay, one final to shorten the story, this girl went with him, and they have married without the knowledge of the parents, and they came to Hyderabad. And this boy said, living in the village, we will not earn anything. Hyderabad is a big city. We will get a job. He did not. He went to one lady's house, telling that that is his sister. And he told this girl, Sunita, that we will be staying with my sister for some time. Then we will look for a job and we will shift to the rented house. So 2 days he remained with her in that house. And after that, he said, you remain here, I will go out and look for a job. He went, he did not come on that day. Till late in the night, she waited. And she told this lady, one who is in the house, she told that, you see, ma'am, my husband is not yet come. What happened to him? I do not know. I don't even have a phone by that. She was, no, she had a phone. She was ringing up to him. It was switched off. Then this lady told that your husband will not come anymore to you. You are sold here. So the girl was little clever enough. She rang up to the police, the emergency number, and the police rang up to the organization, Prajwala organization. And the police and the Prajwala organization reached there and served the girl. And she was there. I don't know whether you have noticed, that girl is there where we are doing the campaign in the villages. So 1 minute I will show you. And she herself was coming forward and sharing the slide number 17. In slide number 17, she is there. And she herself comes forward and tells that this is what happened to me. So you see the second picture, one who is with a green top and the blue jeans. So some question has come in the box. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. They have asked about the organizations rather than Prajula.
So many other organizations like, as I said, I have mentioned your World Vision is there. The organization, Women and Child organization is there, Bhumika organization. And so many other organizations in Hyderabad itself are there, and in each district it is there. And Prajwala, why I mentioned is they directly get into raid. And they take the children, and within 24 hours, they entrust the police. The police has the duty to entrust the children. Those who are below 18 years of age, they have to entrust the children to CWC, that is Child Welfare Committee. If it is adult, within 24 hours, they have to submit them to the court. So there are many organizations who are working.
Okay, ma'am. They have also asked something like, if I am personally if I recognize that I am being trafficked, what are the steps that I have to take?
So first, she should not express herself that she is frightened. We should not express our weakness. So our weaknesses will become the strength for the exploiters. So be firm enough and observe the situations, how it is going on, and slowly she has to withdraw herself from there. And if she gets a chance to move away, maybe 2 or 3 feet away from there, and she can make a call immediately or to the emergency numbers 1098 or 106. And tell that this is what happened, please come to my rescue. 1098 to all 24 hours, they will pick up the call. So just a little, you behave as if nothing happened to you. You do not get panic or anything. As if you are being trafficked, but don't show them. Be courageous enough and contact these people for your rescue.
Okay, ma'am. Another question which came is just like, this generation is more prone to internet and all. So do you think something happens in terms of that?
Sure. That's what I mentioned. There are a lot of data free of course we get. Really we get it, maybe per day 2 GB or 1.5 GB and all. So what we will be doing is we will be getting into chat. And a few days of communications with the opposite side, and they will be telling why you wanted to be there, why can't you come over here, I will provide a good job and you can have a good life here. So in the cities are well equipped jobs are there, you will get into that, please come over here. So they will become more close over the chat and they will be getting into this topic. There are many cases we have here. Even the victims, those who have come to us, number of them are there. Now, media.
Okay, miss. Yes, ma'am. They are asking like, is there any solutions for this?
Not audible.
Hello, ma'am. Am I clear?
Now you can tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
They are asking like, is there any solutions for it?
Hello? Not clear.
Hello, miss.
Princy,
Yeah, tell me. Hello? Hello? Ashley?
Princy,
Usha, miss.
Princey,
Yeah.
Sister
Can you?
Princey. The
Ah,
question is,
yes,
what is the
sister.
solution for human trafficking? Just a brief and tell. That is, what are the solution for
Pardon,
human
sister?
trafficking? What are the solution for human trafficking?
Solution for human trafficking.
Okay. Awareness program already you mentioned. Creating
Yeah, yeah,
parliaments,
yeah, yeah,
okay, among the
yeah,
children, parents,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
among the society, etc. And also
yeah,
self-awareness, being
yeah,
very careful about dealing with the social media. All that, those things can be the solutions. Is it not?
yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sister. Yes, yes. Those things, sir.
Okay. Shall we proceed with the feedback, Ashley?
Yes.
Yes, miss. Am I audible?
Yes.
Ah, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Okay, now I think all of you are free from doubts. So, shall we bring it to an end? Sister, is there anything else from
Clear.
your side to express before winding up?
Hello.
No, no. I'll conclude it later.
Okay, okay.
Feedback.
Good morning, everyone. Good
Yes,
morning.
Smita.
Hello.
Yes.
Sister, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Enough.
Okay.
It's okay.
I felt like the class was very informative. Awareness about this topic is very relevant in this society. And thank you, sister, for sharing your ideas and thoughts about this. You taught us a lot within a small period of time. Each topic was very clear and understandable. You made us understand how evil
Hello.
human trafficking. Sister, I felt like the class was very informative. Awareness about this topic is very relevant in this society, and thank you, sister, for sharing your ideas and thoughts about this. You taught us a lot within a small period of time. Each topic was very clear and understandable. You made us understand how evil human trafficking is, and made us more aware about it. Spreading awareness about human trafficking is important to stop it completely, but the striking part was that people are trying to trade humans to make profit. It was really a thought provoking session, and thank you so much, sister, for taking this class and for clearing all our doubts. Thank you, sister.